Hello, my name is Alex Glebe and I'm here to speak about my final project for New Media New Literacy, Gamification as a New Method of Technology. So, what is gamification? Gamification is when, in education, you utilize components of video games to engage, motivate, and excite students about learning. You also are utilizing student interest in new forms of media and aims to create an environment of learning through deep engagement. The point of gamification in education is to target students who struggle with engaging in their learning as it is. This learning is done through using components of video games such as rewards for continued success, motivation through failure, and encouraging students to continue to try and try again. This is something that is brought to our attention through the research of James Paul Gee, a man who is a founder of gamification and has done extensive research into the field of gaming and its relation to education. This is James Paul Gee. He's an American educator and one of the driving forces in support of utilizing games and gaming in the classroom. He's also done psycholinguistic, discourse analyst, and literacy research specialist. Multiple texts on the topic include What Video Games Have to Teach Us, The Anti-Education Era, and Language and Learning in the Digital Era. James Paul Gee is an exceptionally important person to this research topic, as his books have laid out a framework for what gamification looks like in the classroom and why we should even consider using games in the classroom. One of his main points is that in video games, players are encouraged over and over and over again to push through failures and continue to work towards a final goal. This is something that we have different in education, as students are often quick to give up and do not see the benefits of continuing to push through and feel that failure is an automatic thing. There is no turning around in their mind. Through his work, James Paul Gee has identified a couple factors of gamification that seem to be exceptionally important in order for it to be considered a success. The primary thing that James Paul Gee discusses as being the factor for success is that you do not incorporate only the aspects of a video game, but you make it feel as if it's an experience. The experience is essential to understanding and making gamification work in the classroom. So why do we need to understand gamification? Well, it provides an alternative method to engage students in learning. It utilizes student interest to help struggling students engage in their education, as well as motivate higher performing students to continue to push themselves with the use of rewards and other factors that are driving them to continue to improve. Not only that, but it also encourages fun in the classroom. It creates responsibility and independence by holding students accountable for their actions and their work. It also fosters an environment of care, comfort, and education. The main thing to understand with gamification is that it is a two-way road. Students and teachers both have to be not only fully engaged in it, but also need to have fun with it. Otherwise, there is no true purpose for gamification. But with that in mind, gamification has many, many benefits. So why should we research this topic? Well, understanding the impact determines its effectiveness. So, many researchers have done extensive studies into what gamification is, what makes it successful, and what does not. On the right, you can see that there is a list of a game, game-based learning, and gamification. This chart is designed to help to understand the differences between game-based learning and gamification, where in game-based learning, it is predominantly taking some factors and incorporating them, encouraging students, and showing them their interest, while gamification is a total overhaul of the classroom, where each step is involved and requires some form of gamification to work. Now, one of the main things that is important to understand is that there are several impacts of gamification. While many of these impacts are genuinely positive, as in they motivate students, they provide a social aspect that allows students to work together and help each other to achieve goals, and it creates an environment that fosters learning and engagement while also making it exciting and fun. However, there are some negative impacts. It requires an extensive amount of back work, and it requires a lot of planning and focus for the teacher, to which some teachers feel they don't have the resources or time to implement it. It does not work for every level of education or for every student, as some students are not interested in gaming and can feel that there is no reason for it. One of the main negative impacts is that it creates a level of competition that is unnecessary in the classroom. However, if students are motivated and the teacher incorporates the competition in a fun and entertaining way that doesn't cause a student to feel left out, then it can be an extremely beneficial practice. Now, student perspectives. Students have said a lot about gamification. They feel that it can provide them with a new way of learning. It makes learning fun and engaging. It can make them perform better. It helps them to understand each other's interests as well as working together. And it genuinely works best with younger students, those who have played video games for quite some time. It is imperative to understand the student perspective, for if students are not engaged or have any interest in gaming, then this will not work for them. Some students honestly do feel that there is a time and place for gaming and a time and place for learning, and they do not necessarily have to overlap. Overall, this research topic is extremely important as it provides a new way of looking at education for all students, and it allows for students to have a new method of understanding their own education and engaging in it. Thank you so much.